All right, so we're back with number 2. This time we're envisioning that this composite figure has been sliced horizontally. So now we have a littler rectangular prism sitting on top of this longer rectangular prism. And so the box has switched around. We've been asked to find the blue rectangular prism, which they're identifying as the bottom one. So I'm going to take a look and see if I have all of the information that I need to solve for the volume of this rectangular prism. So I have 15, which is the total length, and then the width along the bottom is 5, and then the height is 3. So that rectangular prism looks really good. I don't need to find any missing measurements for it. So I'm going to focus on this little rectangular prism first. I have this number 9, but 9 is telling me from here down to here, but I've cut right along into that measurement. So I can't use 9. I need to instead find what is this little height sticking up right here. Also, I need to figure out what this one is, but if you'll recall, this one was pretty simple to find in number 1 because this length is the same as this length, which is the same as this length, which is the same as this length, which we were told is 5. So I can fill that one in real quick. 5 inches. Okay, so now I need to figure out what's this length right here. This length is the same as this length, which is the same as this little part right here, that little piece that I need to find. So I know the total is 9. Do I know what this little piece is so I could find what's missing over here? I actually do. This little piece is the same size as this little piece, which is the same size as this little piece. And that one was told to me as 3 inches. So if this section is 3 inches, the total is 9. What's missing right here is going to be 6 inches. Okay, I have everything that I need to solve. The first problem that the workbook is asking me to solve for is this bottom blue rectangular prism in your workbook. So I'm going to take the total length first, length times the width of the base, which is 5, times 3. 15 times 5 times 3. Again, I'm not picky if you want to use a calculator for these because the hardest part is figuring out what the missing measurements are and then putting them into the equation. So you should get 225. Second, rectangular prism stuck on the top here. I'm going to focus on this base that I can see right here. So I have the length, which is 5, the width, which is 3, and then the height up and down, which is 6. So 5 times 3 times 6, 15 times 6, 90. Okay, so I have 225 and 90. So to find the total volume, I'm adding those together. Again, if I was solving this not in my workbook, I might just do it vertically right there since I already have it set up nicely. But 225 plus 90, I get 315. So you'll notice that it's the exact same solution that we had on the last one because the figure didn't change. What changed was where we decided to cut the figure and how we wanted to solve for the volume. And again, my label would be cubic inches for this one. Now, if I was solving this problem, I would have done the second version. I would have cut it right here because we didn't have to do any extra work to figure out what the measurements were for this bottom rectangular prism. We only had to find this missing measurement and then drag the 5 inches up over to that side, which we really didn't have to do any calculation for. We just had to transfer it. I thought this way was a little bit simpler, but is there a right and is there a wrong way of how you want to cut the figure? Not at all. You'll see that either way we get 315. And so that's taking a look at number 3 that's coming up in your workbook. Can you compare your answers to problems 1 and 2? Well, the answers that we got they were the same. They were both 315 cubic inches. So no matter how we cut the figure, the composite figure, we get the exact same volume because the figure itself is not changing. It's still this original figure. Now, what's a conclusion that we can make is that there's more than one way to split the figure up into 2 separate rectangular prisms. Is there a right? Is there a wrong? No. It's up to you. Sometimes, depending on what you choose, though, you might have to solve for more missing sides. Like the first one that we did, we had more problems that we had to solve in order to figure out the missing side lengths. So once again, answer is the same, no matter which way you decide to cut the figure. There's not a right or a wrong way. You might just need to find more missing measurements if you cut it a certain way. Okay, so I walked you through 1, 2, and 3. You just need to type out some ideas for the comparison between problems 1 and 2. And now you have practice problem 4 and 5 to complete right now. For the volume, all that you need to put is your final answer. So this is all that you would type in. You don't need to do anything extra like this. That's what you solve on your separate piece of scratch paper or on your whiteboard. And then whatever your final answer is, don't forget to put it in as cubic. This one's going to be cubic centimeters, and this one's going to be cubic feet. All right? Let me know if you have any questions.